We've been watching these cartoons for so many years that we don't even remember what they looked like at the beginning. No one knew that their show was going to be so popular, and this is what makes their project so surprising. Make sure you watch this video until the end if you want to know why South Park was in danger when the team started working on the pilot. If you love cartoons as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today, we are showing you the evolution of your favorite cartoons. The Simpsons. Can you believe that the first time we saw The Simpsons was in April 1987? It premiered as a cartoon on The Tracey Ullman Show on HBO, when the producer decided that he wanted to include small animated sketches before and after the commercial breaks. Creator Matt Groening created a dysfunctional family just for this, and named the characters after his own family members. When Groening submitted the sketches to the animators, he thought that it would be cleaned up during production, but they just retraced his drawings, which explains why the characters look so crude. The creator didn't want to see the conventional cartoon color. When an animator said that they could make the characters yellow, Groening thought that it was a great idea, as whenever someone is flicking through the channels, they'll see the color yellow and know that they are watching The Simpsons. The characters changed a lot over the years until they became those that we know nowadays. Many are new, while some of them are gone, like Edna Crabapple, after the death of the voice actress Marcia Wallace. The Simpsons is now the longest-running American animated program, as the 29th season started airing in October 2017. Unfortunately, the show might be coming to an end, according to the showrunner Al Jean. He doesn't know what is going to happen yet, but the 30th season might be the last one. SpongeBob SquarePants. The creator of the series, Steven Hillenburg, has always been fascinated by the sea. He even received a major in marine biology and a minor in art before joining the Ocean Institute in California. One of the first projects he worked on was the Intertidal Zone, which inspired many of the characters from SpongeBob SquarePants. Hillenburg was later encouraged to create a series with a similar concept with Bob the Sponge. The character always had a childish personality, but it's funny to think that he looked like an actual sea sponge before he was turned into a kitchen sponge. The show was supposed to be called SpongeBoy Ahoy, but Nickelodeon found out that this name was already used for a mop product, so they changed it to SpongeBob SquarePants. The show was so popular that with its first month on air, it overtook Pokémon as the highest-rated Saturday morning children's series with almost 2 million viewers. It didn't take too much time before grown-ups loved watching SpongeBob SquarePants too. It boasted the highest ratings for any children's series on all television, with 15 million viewers every week, including 5 million adults. With 11 seasons, more than 200 episodes, and 2 movies, SpongeBob SquarePants became one of the longest-running series on Nickelodeon, and we hope that it will remain just as popular for the years to come. The Powerpuff Girls. It's in June 1992 that the popular characters were created when Craig McCracken created a drawing of 3 girls on a small sheet of orange construction paper. It was only a birthday card designed for his brother, but the following years, they were the heroes of the short film Whoop-Ass Stew. The Whoop-Ass Girls in A Sticky Situation. However, Cartoon Network said that no one would like a kids show with the A word in it, so the Whoop-Ass Girls became the Powerpuff Girls. The can of Whoop-Ass was also replaced by Chemical X. Unfortunately, as Dexter's Laboratory was more popular, it took several years before the Powerpuff Girls had their chance to shine under the spotlight. The series debuted in November 1998 and was the highest-rated premiere in Cartoon Network's history at the time, as both children and grown-ups loved it. And it always scored the highest rating for an original series each week for the network with its Friday night primetime ratings. 6 seasons were made, and the last original episode was aired in March 2005. But the Powerpuff Girls are finally back to entertain a whole new generation. Cartoon Network announced in 2014 that our favorite superheroes would be back in the new series that aired in 2016. We even met a new character, Bliss, who is the Powerpuff Girls' long-lost sister. We can never get enough of our favorite superheroes. Family Guy. It's in 1995 that Seth MacFarlane created Family Guy while studying animation, but it's actually another of his projects, The Life of Larry, that was broadcasted on Cartoon Network in world premiere tunes. This was when Fox hired MacFarlane to create a new series called Family Guy, based on the characters. They gave him $40,000 to make a 2-minute animation, and he came back with a pilot instead. This is how the old Larry became Peter, and the dog Steve became Brian. He even said that the main difference between between The Life of Larry and Family Guy is that The Life of Larry was shown primarily in his dorm room, while the Family Guy pilot was shown after the Super Bowl. After the pilot, Family Guy was given the green light, and the creator had the chance to work on a whole new series. Unfortunately, it wasn't performing well, so the show was canceled, but many people thought that it was so funny that they wanted to bring it back. The show was now more popular on Cartoon Network, and Fox felt that something was missing without this animated series. This is how the show was given another chance to come back on television, and after working so hard to bring Family Guy back on air, the team was also ready to make it better than ever. Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is the oldest American series of comedy short films on our list, as it was produced by Warner Brothers from 1930 to 1969 during the golden age of American animation. And no matter how old you are, you probably already know these funny characters. At the time, Warner Brothers wanted to compete against Walt Disney's most popular character, Mickey Mouse, by developing a series of animated shorts to promote their music. It was so long ago that the show was only in black and white at the time. It was only after 1943 that we had the chance to see our favorite characters in color. It's hard to imagine Looney Tunes without our favorite characters, but we only met Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck 10 years after the beginning of Looney Tunes in 1940. Then it's only during the golden age of American cartoons that we got the chance to meet characters like Tweety, Sylvester, the Coyote, and the Roadrunner. The animated series of short films finally ended in 1969, but that didn't mean that we wouldn't forget it anytime soon. However, the shorts had to be edited to remove scenes of violence, racial caricatures, and questionable vices. Many other series and movies featuring our favorite characters were later produced to make sure that kids all around the world will never forget these memorable characters. Scooby-Doo. There is no wonder why everyone knows who Scooby-Doo is. The American animated cartoon franchise produced several animated series from 1969 to nowadays. It means that your parents have been watching this cartoon on TV just like you did, and we hope that your kids will be doing the same thing too. It all started in 1968 when parents started complaining that they saw too much violence on television. Many shows were canceled because of the pressure from the parent groups. This is why the Hanna-Barbera staff started working on a show that they will later call Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Each episode featured Scooby and his 4 friends, Fred, Shaggy, Daphne, and Velma, who traveled in the Mystery Machine to catch a monster or another supernatural creature. And after so many years, fans still love to watch the series with the same concept and the same ending. It was just an elaborate hoax. This show attracted 65% of the Saturday morning audiences who all wanted to watch Scooby solving new mysteries. And just because we couldn't get enough of our favorite dog, we also got the chance to see many television series, films, television specials, live-action movies, video games, stage plays, and more projects inspired by Scooby-Doo. We might have seen the popular dog and his friends in many different ways, but no matter what he does, kids all around the world will always recognize this funny character. Fairly Odd Parents. You could have seen Fairly Odd Parents on another channel because it was originally pitched to Cartoon Network. Unfortunately, you never saw the pilot on this channel because it was later pitched to Nickelodeon, and this is when people started being interested in this show. At that time, Fairy Godparents was only a 7-minute cartoon film that was part of Oh Yeah Cartoons. The design was really different, as the animation in the shorts were not as smooth, and you couldn't see the faces of Timmy's parents. Moreover, Cosmo was more intelligent, Wanda, who used to be named Venus, was not the smart one, and Vicky was less evil. It's also funny to think that Timmy was supposed to wear a blue hat, but the creator Butch Hartman ran out of blue ink, so he made it pink instead. We wouldn't imagine Fairly Odd Parents in any other way than those we later saw in the real TV series. The real show ran from 2001 to 2006 and was immediately popular, as both kids and grown-ups loved it. It even became Nickelodeon's highest-rated show in early 2002 and 2003. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end, and the show was canceled in 2006, but it still had the chance to come back in 2007 and also inspired Fairly Odd Baby. If you could have one wish, which cartoon would you like to see back on television? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We first saw the Ninja Turtles in comic books, and the 4 characters were so popular that they got the chance to be part of cartoon series, films, and video games. The first TMNT cartoon series began in 1987 and quickly became a regular Saturday morning syndicated series. Compared to the comics, this show was much more humoristic, and this is why it made the Ninja Turtles more popular than ever. Moreover, they were now wearing different color-coded masks, which made it easier to identify them compared to the characters we saw in the comics. But we still think that it doesn't make sense that they wear masks, as there are not a lot of turtles like them in this world. The series was later expanded to weekdays, with 47 more episodes for the new season. The original animated series ended in 1996 and was replaced by the live-action series Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. Unfortunately, it didn't last long, and we had to wait a couple of years before our favorite characters came back in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2003 to 2009. This show was followed by the third animated series, also named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, from 2012 to 2017, and Nickelodeon later announced a new 2D animated series titled Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which will debut in 2018. Why can't we just stop canceling this show and make it last forever instead? Pokemon. The franchise began with video games for the original Game Boy and quickly became the second best-selling video game franchise behind Nintendo's Mario. These pocket monsters were so popular that we quickly had the chance to see them in trading card games, toys, animated television shows, movies, and comic books. Fans who watched this new anime on television were always surprised, as the adventures are different from the canon that most of the Pokemon games follow. The original series was titled Pocket Monsters, or Pokemon in Western countries, and began with Ash's first day as a Pokemon trainer with his first Pokemon, Pikachu. The first series was based on the storyline of the original games, while the next series was based on the second generation of games, and so on until the sixth generation of games. We also had the chance to see 20 movies based on the popular franchise, and also many specials, spin-offs, and variety shows. The latest series, Sun and Moon, started in 2016 for the season 20 of Pokemon. With almost 1,000 episodes, many generations of kids all around the world fell in love with these pocket monsters. The franchise knows exactly what to do to stay more popular than ever over the years with games like Pokemon Go, so we are pretty sure that nothing will be able to stop these famous pocket monsters. Pokemon is the very best, like no one ever was. South Park. Parker and Stone met in film class and quickly found out that they both loved Monty Python. This is what inspired them to create an animated short entitled The Spirit of Christmas. They created it by animating construction paper cutouts with stop motion, which explains the look of the animated series that we know nowadays. They also included prototypes of the main characters that we would later meet in South Park. As their videos became more and more popular, they started thinking about developing it into a television series. Unfortunately, Fox was not interested in the series, and this is why they decided to turn to Comedy Central instead to make sure that it would never be a kids' show. Then they started working on the pilot, but South Park was already in danger at the time as the audience didn't like the show and many women hated it. We have to admit that we understand why, as some jokes can be really inappropriate. It's over the internet that South Park gained more popularity, so Comedy Central decided to give them a chance with a run of 6 episodes. They never regretted this decision, as there are now 21 seasons and more than 250 episodes of South Park. What is your favorite animated series on this list? Don't be shy to answer in the comment section down below. We love to hear what you think. And that's it for the evolution of your favorite cartoons. For more stories like this, make sure you watch 10 Cartoon Secrets Finally Revealed. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.